A few months ago, something incredible happened to me while cave diving that forever changed the way I look at caves, and I want to share that with you. Some quick backstory here. I got certified to dive caves a couple of years ago. I loved watching all the videos, seeing what people were learning and exploring, and I wanted to experience that for myself. So I took the course, got certified, but it didn't quite scratch the itch that I was hoping it would. So I resigned myself mostly to just watching and learning from people I could talk to. Fast forward to just a few months ago, and my buddy invited me to come along for his Rebreather cave class. And I'm really glad I did, because on one of these dives, before we got in the water, the instructor was briefing us on what we were going to do for skills, and he said, "Oh yeah, when we get to one of the bigger rooms, be sure to look down, you'll see some fossils down there." And I perked up because I'm like, "Oh, fossils, that's what I want to see." And he says, "Oh yeah, they're everywhere, just look down, you can't miss it." So I'm excited, we get all geared up, get in the water, do our primary tie-off, get through the cavern zone, go down into the cave, and we're swimming through some of these larger rooms, and I'm looking around like, oh man, where are these fossils? I can't wait to see them. And I'm like, where the heck are they? And right as I'm thinking that, the instructor actually swims up to me and just gently touches me on the shoulder and says, "Hey, look down." So I'm looking down like, okay, what am I looking at here? I just see sand and like rocks and stuff. But then he looks at me again and says, "No, look down, keep looking." So I'm like, okay, looking down. And I start staring, and then I realize that those aren't just pebbles and rocks in the sand below me. For the past 5 minutes, I probably swam past thousands of fossils without even realizing it. And then I started to pay attention to it more and realized they're embedded in the rock even below me in some areas. And that was the moment it hit me. I'm not just in a tube of wet rock. What I'm inside of is a natural time capsule. It started to sink in that I'm surrounded by fossils that are millions of years old, and I'm only able to see them because the rainwater has slowly dissolved away this limestone. And instantly, the way I looked at everything around me changed. I couldn't unsee it. I couldn't even just see wet rock anymore. I was in this place where I could look back in history millions of years. It made me really excited to continue exploring around and go further and look at all the nooks and crannies that I just swam past before. When I got home, I ended up picking up this book from the Audubon Society. It's a field guide to North American fossils. Thanks, Matt, for the recommendation. And I realized that some of the fossils I was looking at were between 5 and 20 million years old. That's insane. It's one of those things that you can look at in a museum behind some glass and you're like, oh, cool. But as soon as you get to see it with your own eyes in person, it's mind-blowing. So I wanted to share this story with you guys because in the time I've been diving, I've never had such an immediate perception change of something I had been doing, and I thought it was really impactful to my overall scope of cave diving. And I realized what had been missing all along was my why for cave diving to begin with. So if you think you're interested in cave diving, maybe start by thinking why. And I hope this video helps inspire you.